Alright guys, so we're doing something a little different today. Actually getting out a little later today, it's in the afternoon, but I figured I'd try something else because yesterday, the day before, we didn't really have any luck. Searched all day, couldn't find any salamanders or snakes or anything. I didn't feel like going as far from the house where we're staying, so I decided just to check out a park nearby. And this park's kind of in the city, but it looks like there's a seepage right there. So we might be onto something. It's definitely a seepage, which is what we've been looking for this whole time. Place in town. Still decent kind of forest here, but just not a very large piece of land. I'm happy we got on the right kind of habitat. Maybe now we can actually find some pseudotritons. Oh, there's a salamander. What is that? Oh, I got a salamander. I think it's a dusky. Okay. Goodness gracious. Yes, it is a dusky. This might be my lifer Savannah dusky, so we're gonna try to hold on and photograph him. So after double checking, this is indeed a Savannah dusky salamander. This is my lifer Savannah dusky, and I have to say superficially it looks a lot like a southern dusky. The one difference I'm noting from the Hallbrook southern dusky, this salamander does not seem to have the ears, the red ears, so to speak. You can see a little line behind his eyeball there. Southern dusky has a red or orange line right there, so it gives him the name auriculatus. It means little eared one. But it does have a very spindly tail, much like the southern dusky. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure what all the differences are, but it is still a different salamander and a new species for me, so I'm very happy about that. If we can keep this ball rolling, it's going to be a good day. The more I look, the better this habitat looks. Oh yeah, there we go. That is a red salamander. Yes. Yes. That's what we've been after. That's a beautiful one. That's the prettiest one I've ever found. I've seen lots of big dull ones, but this is a younger one, so it's still got its nice red, bright red coloration. It's not big and purple yet. That's awesome. Pseudotriton ruber, the southern red salamander. These guys aggressively defend their little territories. This little probably 30-foot circle or so is his territory that he'll aggressively defend from other rival male salamanders. A lot of times when you find older ones, ooh, this looks interesting. Savannah duskies. Pretty sure it's what these are. Wait, no, it's a red salamander. A larval one. Okay. What is this? That's a Savannah dusky. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, we just got our second Savannah dusky and second red salamander of the day. So this red salamander is one that's moving around all crazy. That's a larval one that's starting to metamorphose. So you can see he's over here in this drier part of the seepage underneath that log, because he's just getting to the point where he's venturing out of the water and starting to become terrestrial. 2 red salamanders today. That dusky dropped down here, but he'll be fine. He's just going to wiggle back into the mud. We're going to let this guy go. Alright, got something right here. That is a 2-line salamander. Or is that a dwarf salamander? I think it's just a 2-line. Oh, another species. We saw one of these the other day. Alright, another familiar face. These guys are pretty common in a lot of areas. This is a 2-line salamander. And we saw one just the other day that was a lot prettier, so I'm not going to hold on to him for too long. I'm just going to let him go, but that's cool. Another species to add to the list today. Whoa, Oh, that was a vine. I thought it was a snake. Oh, there's a salamander. Looks like a two-lined. There's a two-lined salamander. I think it is gravid. So if nothing else, I can say we did get on some salamanders today. Two-lined salamanders. This bigger one here might be gravid, so I'm about to let them go. But we're getting into some numbers. I have made it back from the car with a grocery bag. I figured I'd show you guys how I'm going to harvest these. If I take one off here, I'll pat it, make sure it drops its spores. It doesn't really have a stalk. It's more of like a pseudo stalk. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. It's just like a base to it, and it grows straight out like that. They don't always grow straight out. Sometimes, like this one, they will sort of have a stalk to them. And typically I wouldn't rip them out of the tree like this. I'm just trying to do it to show you the stalk. But yeah, as you can see, the gills kind of go onto the stalk. So it's not like a true stalk, if you know what I'm saying. I just said stalk a bunch of times, but anyways, yeah, I try to leave a few of them so that they will be able to spread their spores and they'll continue to live here after I've harvested some. But looks like this whole patch over here has already done its job and is dead now. Those spores, it will regrow right there, and those spores will, you know, turn into more oyster mushrooms. Leaving a couple for wildlife to eat, and then we'll move on to the next patch. But we're just going to fill this grocery bag with them and take these home to eat. Alright guys, it is another day. We're going to get after it. Today we are in North Carolina, and our target today is another pseudotriton. Instead of the red salamander, today we're looking for its cousin, the mud salamander, which would be a lifer for me, and it's a salamander I've always wanted to see. They're quite a bit rarer than red salamanders. I am a little bit sick today, so you might notice I'm a little nasally, but I don't have a lot of time this morning, so small window for herping today, but hopefully it'll pay off. We'll see what happens. Alright, so we have a seepage. I just realized that my GoPro is out of battery, so that kind of sucks, so I guess I'll just film with my phone. Right there! Oh yeah, that's a mud. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, well, I don't want to spend too much time. I've already been trying to photograph this guy. He does not want to be still. But look at the size of that mud salamander. That is just incredible. This is my lifer eastern mud salamander. And man, what a beautiful salamander that is. As I was saying, this is the harder of the pseudotritons to find. So I'm very, very happy that we were able to come here and do this. And really the only day where I'd have a chance to do it. So very, very happy about this. This is everything I'd hoped to be and more. Being a pseudotriton, they do need to go back into the mud. They live in the muck, under the rocks and logs and these seepages. And though that is a magnificent salamander, we do have to put him back. But man, I'm just so happy. So happy. You can see a little bit of the differences. It seems to have more of an elongate body than the red salamander we found the other day in Georgia. It's got a very keeled tail. I imagine these guys do a little bit more swimming through the muck. And its eyes just seem to be positioned a little differently, and they're much darker. Kind of a derpier looking salamander, but all in all, just what a cool thing. I'm so glad these things live on this planet with us. Plus, look at his belly. His belly's like salmon pink. Let's put him back. We can probably find another one before we leave. So cool. Alright, so we got our target pretty quick, and I know we didn't spend too much time with that guy. That's just because I didn't want to hold him too much. I was trying to photograph him and he was trying to get away, so I had to touch him a lot
to get them to stay in one spot and actually get good photos of them, which was really important to me because it's the first time I've ever seen that species, so I like to document, get really great photos. But super glad we got to see him. Now we can just see if we can find another one in the time we have left out here. Looks like we got another seepage here. Let's see if we have similar luck at this spot. So you can see all this water is just spawning out of this hill right here. And this is the spring head. This is the actual place where the groundwater is coming out. And this is often the best place to look for salamanders. Well, we got another mud salamander. A small one. Little guy. Still got his gills a little bit there. But this one I'm 100% certain is a larval mud salamander. And he's about to be in his terrestrial form. But as you can see, if you look really closely there, he does have little gills. So we're not going to keep him out too long, but that's cool. 2 mud salamanders today. Can't beat that. Well, that's 2 seepages and 2 mud salamanders. I'd say we're doing pretty good. As always, I don't mention this a lot, but if you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more herping content and wildlife content in general. I also upload fossil hunting stuff, so if you like the outdoors, feel free to subscribe. You might enjoy it. But other than that, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.